Hi there.
Hi everyone.
Could do this. Before we start, we have to do this.
Shouldn't. Before I start. Probably should have printed them the other way around, shouldn't you?
It's really hot tea. Just to be fair, it is jasmine tea.
It is jasmine tea, and we are cruising the car.
We are going to review our Nature's Head composting toilet for you. It has been requested, and I don't want this to come across as really negative. We're not unhappy with the Nature's Head. We would definitely still choose it. We have no regrets. Having said that, we have just dealt with a situation and we still have no regrets.
Yep, that's true.
But this is just going to be an honest review, which hopefully is not going to sound like moaning.
When we got the Nature's Head, if you watched our unboxing video, you'll know that it came with a starter kit, which was made up of cocoa shells.
So if you put your agitator so that it was horizontal, then I'm assuming, understanding English as I do, that shell should go up to that line.
Yeah,
and there wasn't enough in that kit.
And some people will fill, from the videos that I've watched since, will fill just above that line.
Because there wasn't enough cocoa shell, Kath had thought, let's put in some sawdust.
Not sawdust. So I did some additional reading around what materials people use in their composting toilets in the UK, and pet bedding came up as a popular material.
That didn't work.
Well, I bought a pack of pet bedding because it's available everywhere, and we topped up the compost bin with a bit of sawdust, and it would have probably been okay if they hadn't.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was new, and somebody was checking the state of the composting, the twos bin, that there seemed to have been some cross-contamination of the ones into the twos, and the sawdust that was in there soaked up the ones, and it was really hot weather, and I was at home throughout this one day, and the smell got progressively worse throughout the day, and by the time Anna got home from work,
it's like, where do we live?
Like we were living in a giant hamster cage. But not one where the hamster was neglected and it was days past an acceptable level of dirtiness.
Which brings us on to the smell. So there is two parts of the smell. The first part is the solids. Everybody says the solids don't smell. Well, I'm here to tell you that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
The smell of the ones.
I think maybe we don't drink enough.
You have to empty it every 2 days, which is not a problem because it's You just take it over to the Elson Point, you tip it in, it's fantastic. It was... I don't even have words for it.
So we have come up with a solution to that.
Yes, we think 5 teaspoons of sugar per wee pot is pretty good. And then literally no smell. Fantastic. Comment below if you have a different way of dealing with the wee smell. Because I think if you're on the cut, we're lucky we have an Elson Point, but if you're on the cut, you would probably empty your liquids container as you were leaving, maybe. I wouldn't do it as I stayed there.
But if you were moored up somewhere for 14 days, you'd have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, every 2 days and maybe, I don't. Comment below if you deal with that on a 2 daily basis. Yeah. The other thing that happened with the wee pot was it is sealed. There's this black seal around from the toilet seat to the bowl, and you can see the wee kind of, you can kind of keep track of filling up, and we overfilled the wee, which we didn't realize. It was just like, this wee is lasting forever. And then I went to empty it because I thought,
I can't see the level.
I can't see the level, but I should probably just go take it over anyway. And when I lifted up the toilet seat, material issues. They were a big deal. Theoretically, we should have emptied the composting toilet 4 times. We're happy to have done it extra times.
The materials issue, like I touched on with the starter kit, I really like the idea of using cocoa shells because of the chocolatey smell, but the chocolatey smell didn't last, especially when mixed with the sawdust.
I thought you were going to say especially when mixed with the human smell.
I found online blocks of the what's it called? Hydrated coconut core, which is it comes in brick size. They work perfectly well, and then we found them for sale in Poundland for £1.
Which basically means your toilet is going to cost you £12 for the year. And sugar.
And sugar.
And then when we had our disaster, we had no Cococore.
Oh yes.
We had nothing. We had to then buy some kitty litter.
We bought a bag of that. So that's a reasonable alternative, I think, if you don't want to buy stuff online, because you can just pick up the wood pellet cat litter in the supermarkets
really
in the
easy.
UK.
Brings us on to why we had to go buy the kitty litter. We came back from Australia, as you know, and there's a few things that had happened to make the perfect storm of composting badness, and we've kind of alluded to some of them. First of all, we're idiots. The second thing that happened is we left the fan on. The fan got disconnected.
So should we start by setting the scene? So we left the boat with a Two's container full of
Not
Two's.
full, no, it was like 2 weeks into Two's. So it still had another 2 weeks. And I thought, logically, even though I have since had some very valuable information from NC Plant Doctor, 5 weeks too late.
I'd read somewhere that when you have a composting toilet, if you're a leisure boater, you might only have to change it twice a year.
When we came back, the pipe had come out of the window, so the toilet was circulating
internal air
through the boat. Imagine what that was like. Secondly,
wasn't that bad.
We had defleed the boat on our way up. A family gathering of fruit flies had decided that they would like to take up boating
On a suicide mission.
and actually a lot
They
of
were
them
just
died
everywhere. Dead
everywhere.
fruit fly bodies. So it looked like a sea of black.
In the one's container there was 2 centimeters deep of fruit flies.
And the bottom of the shower was
Bottom
covered.
of the shower. Why are they in the shower?
They were covered.
Surprisingly, there were no fruit flies on the toilet. When I said I hate the boat, I want to just reassure
Quite a few people. We're not going to sell the boat.
There is no boat selling.
There's no moving onto land. And
Paul.
there's no moving to Australia.
Paul Roberts, Sylvia, we wouldn't leave the canal just as you turned up. That'd be rude. Mandy Smith, thank you so much. Derek, we're not going to sell the boat. We're okay. We love the boat. That brings us to our recommendations. You have to remember that we're recommending against a cassette toilet. If I took it for ease of use, filling it up once a month, emptying the liquids every 2 days, would I swap back to a cassette that I emptied twice a week? No.
Comparing the kind of environmental impact of the composting toilet versus the cassette, the composting toilet is obviously going to win because you're not putting any chemicals in.
I think if you're going up against the amount of effort involved in having a composting toilet compared to having a cassette toilet, I still think that the composting toilet wins. So monetarily, we paid, we reckon, 800?
No, it was something like $7.50.
We paid about $7.50 at Crick for our composting toilet. We paid 100 for the cassette.
About that, yeah.
So there's a £700 difference. Do I think that £700 is going to make itself up in blue and hassle? I kind of feel like if you have the money, go composting, and if you don't have the money, maybe talk to some people who have DIY composting units,
Yeah, you can make
because
your own.
now I'm looking, going, okay, well, on the next boat, not selling this boat, but on the next boat, what system would you set up for composting? So money-wise,
There
is
are
where
cheaper alternatives available.
the cassette wins out. Money-wise, it has to, but it doesn't win out against maybe making your own. We hope you have found this review interesting, informative. If you have something to add, could you please comment below so that we can build up a kind of base of knowledge?
Or if you've got
Add to
any
it.
questions for things that we haven't covered.
Do the cats use the toilet? Please leave those comments below. And as always, give us a like.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks. No, not even then. Just you never know. Why would you say that?
Which has never happened.